Hi, I'm Nicolette, and I'm the founder of Womanship. And the next in our A to Z of things women don't talk about is D for Death, where we'll be talking about navigating loss in all its forms. And I'm really pleased today to be joined by Susanne Dikkens. With a background in physiotherapy and over 10 years working in the field of death care, her curiosity and sensitivity in what's beyond death and her own experience in navigating loss led her to found Ceremonify to create safe spaces for the deeper layers of grief. Thank you so much, Susanne, for joining us today.
Thank you, Nicolette. Really happy to be here.
So, what inspired you to work in this area of grief and loss?
Well, I always had like attraction to death in a weird way. I always found it fascinating. So when I was in Nepal and I saw the burnings, it was really a public place. It really got me in a way that I never experienced, and I kind of felt like I have to do something with it. And in my job, which I attend, then I was speaking every day about death and actually quality of dying. So it always attracted me. And then really suddenly, my brother died in an accident at sea, and that turned everything for me. So I changed my life in a big way, and I experienced grief for myself. And I felt that I couldn't really find my way in the normal therapy forms. So I created my own, and that's what I now do.
I love that in terms of just finding ways to help people when services don't exist. So, what type of services do you offer the people who come to you?
I work on trajectories in one-on-one. So if you experience grief in your life or any kind of loss, basically, where you feel like I need to make a transformation. So there's something happened. I'm not the same person anymore, but I don't know how to bring myself to this new place. And the grieving is pretty difficult for the Western people because we really want to stay away from it. Like grief is not a really nice sensation, but it's also a sensation that brings a lot of love with it, a lot of openness, a lot of power is in it. And I really want to guide people into this new space where they experience themselves from grief, and to learn how to open your body for grief.
I find it fascinating, and it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this event. Maybe it's for myself in terms of how do you even prepare for grief? That's a big question from me because it's something that touches all of us, and yet we don't talk about it. Is there anything that we can do to prepare for losing those people who we love so much?
Yeah, I think you can prepare the best to really connect with your loved ones or visualize them, for example, when they're not here anymore. And to really just take a moment to be with that feeling instead of like, oh no, that's too much. There's a lot of gratitude also in this. So we know a lot of gratitude practices. And if you bring that with it, it kind of like makes it a lot stronger, this exercise, but also intenser because everything will disappear one day, where we also are going to die one day. And that brings a lot of beauty to life because we are not here forever. So there's like an urgency in it. And that makes
Yes.
it so beautiful to really be in this connection. So yeah, that can be a practice to not be in your normal or accept it like, oh, this is how it is, but really feel the gratitude and connect also with one day this is gone.
And you also work with pregnancy losses, for example. And for me, that's something that's definitely not spoken about enough in terms of miscarriages. Can you share anything about the women that you work with on that and the transformation you help them achieve?
Yeah, definitely. What I experience with women is that a lot of women have been through a miscarriage, but we don't talk about it. There's a lot of shame, a lot of also body shaming, like my body can't carry a child, I failed. So all this shame, this failing in themselves, and also the support of their surroundings. Like people are supportive for a few weeks, and then everybody's like, well, it's part of life, all these things, which is true, but you've changed and you have to deal with this. So really to find yourself, actually you're like expanding in a way, so you can really integrate this loss too into your life. And while you're still kind of like young, we're not used to this type of grief because everybody gets babies, have families, and that's kind of like the normal, but not for everyone. And the losses are, we don't talk about it.
Well, that definitely applies to me. I'm getting a little emotional here, thinking, did I actually ever really deal with the pregnancy losses that I had?
Yeah.
Because the fact they still make me emotional, I don't know. There's still something there that maybe is still unprocessed. Anyway, so enough about me and why I'm going to the event. Why do you think women should attend this event?
Well, I think it's beautiful to connect, especially when it's vulnerable. And the loneliness is really a big thread in the whole grief. We all carry ourselves alone, and it can be really heavy. So if you connect with each other, the connection that are built are really strong, and you kind of feel lighter after it, because um, even when you don't even speak, but you hear the stories and you hear like, oh, it resonates with me. Like you had just now, things are seen which are haven't seen in a long time, and then you kind of feel like more connected with yourself through other people in a way, which is, I think, beautiful.
That's great. I'm so looking forward to the event. Um, Anything you'd like to share about what we're going to be experiencing with your session?
Yes. Well, I'm first going to share my story and how I view, how is my vision on death, and how is my vision on grief and grieving, and how we can open ourselves more and connect with it more without, running away too much from it. And I also will guide the visualization with some soft breathing exercise to make more like this inward movement to see what will come up for yourself in this, and to connect with it in a really beautiful way. What can be like, yeah, surprising maybe. Yeah.
I love that way of being able to look at it in a different way because it does have, it does have such a heavy feeling around it. And
Yeah.
for me, as I said, this is really one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this event with womanship so that we can start to talk about something that touches all of our lives and maybe help support each other when we're at our most vulnerable and in need of support.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And to say like it is heavy. And it's really nice that we don't have to sweep that off the table, because the society does that anyway. Like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. No, it's just how it is. And to be in that space is really, really beautiful.
It's strange you say that. I'm about to post a piece about this theory of getting back to normal. And it feels like we have this huge pressure to get back to normal
Yeah.
because nobody else is on the same trajectory of grief that we are. So it's like we don't see other people around us grieving. Therefore, we feel this ridiculous pressure that we have to get back to normal, which I find fascinating in this whole subject.
Yeah, it's impossible to like. I never go back to normal. Yeah, and to be in a way okay with that, or be normal with that, not be normal or not going back to normal. Yeah, we need to talk about this.
Thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to our events and to what you'll be sharing. It's a really important topic that we need to be talking about more.
Definitely. Looking forward to.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Thanks, Nicolette.